Hi guys, and you're welcome again to another episode on the Afro Senate podcast, and the senator is here again to talk to you about vocational training and university education in Germany. We just want to give you a quick comparison between these two, deciding whether to go for vocational training, that's Ausbildung, or university education. If you have to decide between these two, you need to think of your financial circumstances, your career goals, and then the learning style. And here we are looking at vocational training. It takes between 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, university education takes between 3 to 4 years in Germany, and maybe plus 1 to 2 years masters. And so this is a key difference between these two. And then if you come to the learning style, you will find that vocational training focuses on a particular area because it is hands-on. You are learning in a particular area where you will be working. So you become an expert in a specific field. Meanwhile, for university education, you are doing broad studies. So you have knowledge in a vast area, a lot to take in. And then again, when you are looking at your career, it means that within a short space of time, you'll be able to complete your training and then you can get on to work. And so it is very different from university education. And again, when you look closely, you find that with vocational training, you have a steady income during training, And I will also use this opportunity to say that if you are going in for training like in healthcare, in IT and technology, and maybe in aerospace training, and also maybe in shipping, you will find that you can have a higher income during training. I am just giving these tips so that if you are deciding on the type of training you want to go in for, you will also know what you can get during training and even after training, because if you're having a higher income during training, it also tells you that by the time you start working, there will be a higher income from that type of job. And again, you have to know that with vocational training, when you finish with your training, there are higher chances that the company where you trained in is going to hire you because, of course, they trained you and they know your competencies. So job security, you are very sure that you're going to get a job. Meanwhile, somebody who had university education or a degree might still need to go for internships and all of that in companies to be able to get competencies that he or she can sell, that is skills that he or she can sell at the end of education. So you will find that there are some basic advantages with vocational training compared to university education. On the flip side, somebody who is doing university education maybe can get a higher income after education, after school. The person can have a higher income than the other person who did vocational training. But of course, you have to look at the time difference and all of that. So looking at your career goals, the learning style, and your financial situation is very important in considering, because in vocational training, you are rather paid. Meanwhile, for university education, you have to pay maybe semester fees or this and that. So that can guide you through deciding. I hope I have helped you today to be able to decide which one to go for. And if this video is helping you to understand what you have not understood between vocational training and university education, of course, click the subscribe button to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that more of these videos can be coming your way. And then, what is the time period? When is the application? When are applications opened for vocational training? You will find that between the month of September to February, that is usually the application window. And this application window is usually opened up to 6 months. So sometimes in some companies, it will be from August right through to March. And so it varies between companies, but I will advise that between September and February, you should be sure that you have tabled in your application. And this is usually done the previous year preceding the year that you have to start your training. This will give the company time to study your documents. Of course, there can be times that they will make changes and be able to recruit more people and maybe open the application beyond February, but aim to do it within this time so that you are sure. Again, I would advise you that once you have applied to a company, don't just sit that you have applied and you are comfortable. No, try to do a follow-up, maybe a follow-up email that will tell the company that you are really interested in what you are going in for. That gives a good impression. Now, in order to prepare yourself for the application, of course, we know that language is a key thing here because you're going to be learning in German, like we've said in many of our videos. So you need to consider this. And the general requirement is that you have up to B1 German. But I tell you, it is also embassy specific. And in most African countries, they require up to B2 German. So it is better that you aim up to B2 German, and so that you can be sure that you are going to get this. So prepare your language qualification certificate, prepare your passport, your application, put all the documents together as required by the company, and then you can apply. You can do online application. You don't need to send paper-based application. So you can even do that from out of Germany before you move to Germany. And so this, I hope, is going to help you, guide you on what you need to know between university education and vocational training and the time that you need to apply. Now, I will be asking you to subscribe to the Afro Synod podcast, like our videos when you watch them, and of course, comment so that we have that feedback that we really desire of you. And then share within your network, and if you have questions, direct them to us. On Facebook, you can also find me going by Senator Kelesi, and we can have a one-to-one talk there if you have questions. Thanks for watching the Afro Synod podcast. Thank you for trusting us for information. I tell you, in the coming weeks, we are going to be bringing more interesting topics to you. Stay with us in this journey.